Will Social Security derail your railroad retirement? Welcome everyone to another edition of the Highball Advisors Railroad Retirement Whiteboard. My name is John McNamara of Highball Advisors, and today a lot of stuff in the news about Social Security, insolvency, going bankrupt, reducing benefits. All right, and so I get from railroaders, hey, how's that going to affect the railroad retirement? So I thought I'd shoot a video on that because, you know what? I'm looking at it, it might affect it. It really will. So let's just kind of take a step back, 10,000 foot type approach and look at what's going on, right? So Social Security is bankrupt, insolvent, reducing benefits like, 2033, 34, 35. That's without any changes, right? So if they just keep the way things are right now, maybe moving retirement ages, reducing benefits. But anyway, they're not going to be able to start making the full payments around 2035, the latest. So now when you look at railroad retirement, as reported from the trustees, completely solvent, no cash flow problems for the next 75 years. So fantastic, right? Railroad retirement's great. However, we have a linkage, and that's the problem. There is a linkage between Social Security and railroad retirement. So let's walk through it here, right? So Tier 1 is the highest 35 earning years of your Social Security years and railroad working years. All right, so now that's the linkage. All right, Tier 2 is safe. We'll leave that by itself. It has no relationship to Social Security at all. So that portion of your railroad retirement is fine. Now, if you look at Social Security, right, if you're just a Social Security worker, it's your highest 35 non-railroad years, right? Social Security will never take into effect your working for the railroad when they give you a Social Security number, right? So that will come into play. So now what's the issue here, John, right? So the problem is, let's say you have 20 years of the railroad and 15 years of Social Security, right? You're going to collect your retirement through the Railroad Retirement Board, right? Because once you have your 5 years, you're going to get vested, and all your benefits, Social Security, railroad retirement, that Tier 1 number all comes through the Railroad Retirement Board. So how they do that? So Railroad Retirement Board says, oh, I've got my money, I'm ready to pay you my portion of the Tier 1. What they'll do is they go out to Social Security and say, okay, we need in the example that I gave, the 15 years of the Social Security years to come over to make up for the Tier 1. Now, what would happen is they might go over to Social Security in 2035 and go, hey, don't have those 15 years. I can give you 75% of those 15 years. So that might be a reduced Tier 1 number. So that's the type of thing we got to keep an eye on, is maybe a reduction coming out in 2035 on that portion of the Tier 1. So you might say, well, I'm getting it from the Railroad Retirement Board. Well, the Railroad Retirement Board's getting it from Social Security. All right, so even though you're collecting railroad retirement, it's still going to be affected on Social Security. And then you look at it, Railroad Retirement Board uses a lot of the rules from Social Security. So if Social Security changes, let's say, the retirement age for full retirement age, that might be on the table for some people earlier in their careers. That might come into the railroad. That probably will come into the railroad Tier 1 portion. So it's definitely going to affect, just to sum it up, it is going to affect your railroad retirement. So it's definitely something we want to keep an eye on. And, we'll be watching it for years to come. But I thought I'd just draw that out for you now. So, the career railroaders who have 30, 35 years, 40 years, this isn't you don't have to worry about this issue because, like I said, railroad retirement is in great shape. It's only when Social Security comes into play, part of that Tier 1 is we want to keep an eye on. So listen, if you're nearing retirement or at retirement, reach out to me, go through the boarding for railroad retirement process. We'll talk about some of these options, some of the pitfalls in the boarding for railroad retirement assessment. That's great stuff. Click on this video, subscribe it, share it, because I get this from a lot of railroaders. So if you can share it, they can all understand exactly what's going on. And until next time, everyone, please stay safe, stay on track, and take care. So long, everybody.